Israeli airstrikes have injured UN personnel in South Lebanon, even as it mulls a response to Iran. With the conflict having completed a year and West Asia's stability in a conundrum, there seems to be no signs of an end to this war. Take a look at this report.
One year of the Israel-Hamas war. Violence, bloodshed, revenge, and lakhs of lives lost. As United Nations and United States try to dissuade Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu from escalating the war further, the Israeli premier isn't the one to relent.
Every airstrike, every missile launch, every rocket fired pushes peace further out of reach and makes the suffering even worse for the millions of civilians caught in the middle. That is why we cannot and will not give up on our calls for an immediate ceasefire both in Gaza and Lebanon, the immediate and unconditional release of hostages, and immediate life-saving aid to all those who desperately need it. And that is why we cannot and will not give up on our calls for irreversible action for a two-state solution between Israel and Palestine. All people in the region deserve to live in peace.
Even as concerns from across the world, including India, have been expressed over Israeli fire injuring UN personnel at a UN peacekeeper base in southern Lebanon, Netanyahu has vowed to respond to Iran at a time and place of Israel's choosing. And that is precisely what is making the world anxious. All eyes remain on how Israel will respond and whether a weakened Hezbollah will be able to resurrect an entire top leadership. While the multi-front war that is underway in West Asia has led to fears of an even wider and bloodier war in the region, neither Israel nor Iran, Lebanon, Hezbollah, Houthis and Hamas are willing to withdraw from the battlefield. Meanwhile, a year of Israeli airstrikes and demolitions has left Gaza in ruins. Nearly 60% of buildings have been damaged or destroyed, as per satellite data analysis at the City University of New York. Schools in Gaza have been damaged. The UN Office for Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs has put the number at 87% of them having been hit by munitions or damaged since the beginning of the conflict. In Israel, thousands have been killed since the 7th October 2023 attacks by Hamas. More than 35 hostages still remain in Palestine. In July this year, the International Court of Justice ruled that Israel's occupation of the West Bank and East Jerusalem violated the international law. The court declared that Israel's presence in Palestinian territories should end as soon as possible. However, Netanyahu reiterated that for Israelis, it is a fight for their survival.
Countries who supposedly oppose this terror axis call for an arms embargo on Israel. What a disgrace. Well, let me tell you this. Israel will win with or without their support. But their shame will continue long after the war is won. For in defending ourselves against this barbarism, Israel is defending civilizations against those who seek to impose a dark age of fanaticism on all of us. Rest assured, Israel will fight until the battle is won, for our sake and for the sake of the peace and security of the entire world.
Even though war fatigue seems to be setting in and Israel needs more military aid from its American and European allies, a lot depends on the verdict of the US presidential elections this year. For now, the war rages on. Bureau Report, Mirror Now.